Obviously, not the final result you wanted, but overall, what would you say about the way your team played today?
I thought our ladies gave a pretty good effort. We struggled with turnovers. There was 26 points off of turnovers that SMU had, and I thought that was our biggest downfall. That's been our biggest issue all year, taking care of the ball. We can score the ball, I'm aware of that, but we got to be able to take care of the ball at crucial moments and not allow our turnovers to turn in points for other teams. So I thought SMU did a wonderful job. Coach Ron is the best. I love coming here because as a player, I played here, and I think they're a Class 1 staff, and I knew that they would give us a really good fight. I thought our girls overall did a pretty decent job, but not enough to get the win tonight.
Jasmine Parker, your leading scorer, coming in 2 minutes in the first half. What led to that playing time?
She has to be able to defend. And we started the game off, and she started off kind of slow. And I just didn't want to get behind early because she was having a moment or two. I need to get someone in who can help us. And I thought our young ladies came off the bench and did a pretty good job tonight, our young kids. And I want to give them opportunity as well. They played all season behind Jazz. Jazz has done an incredible job as a player of the year for us. But I do think we have other faces that can help us, and they need to start feeling it early. And when she's having, a tough start, get them on the court a little bit quicker.
Obviously, Jazz was your conference player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Limited playing time tonight. Briana comes in with 21 points. How would you rate her performance?
I don't know where that came from.
Where it ranks on her best games of the year?
Not her best game of the year, but definitely a pretty solid game for us. She had 5 turnovers, so I wouldn't consider that her best game. She scored the ball pretty good with 21 points, but I think her career high is 29-30. I needed her to have a good game for her confidence, too. After coming off the tournament, she made all-team, conference team in the tournament, but I didn't think she played very well. I thought tonight she was better. I know I'm a little hard on her. And she's still growing as a sophomore, having 2 more years to play collegiately. Her future is really bright, but she has to be solid. Walking up here, I told her, I need you to be a leader. You have to start leading this team. That's the biggest thing with runs. I noticed that the score was tied 10 times, and there was 9 lead changes. Someone on the court has to be able to say, hey, let's buckle down. We got to get this stop right here. It just can't come from our bench, from our coaches yelling and screaming. They have to be able to be accountable for each other on the court and have that responsibility. She has to have that responsibility to be able to talk to her teammates and get them to understand why we need to stop. And that's my challenge to her moving forward, to be a leader. I think she's a great player. She's the most consistent across the board. I know my staff know that she's my MVP for the year because she is consistent every day, whether it's 20 points or 12 points. She's consistent defensively. Thought she did a good job on Keena Mays. She finished with 32 points. But I thought she made her take tough shots down the stretch, especially before halftime. She gave up a 3 because she didn't follow the instructions that were given her. In the second half, she did a better job at it. And that's all I can ask of her, to be coachable. And for the most part, she is.
When you look at your performance today, 21 points, 7 of 13 from the floor, what did you see in the SMU defense that you tried to take advantage of?
I just seen that I could rip through every time. That's what they teach us, and I took advantage of it. I don't know.
She was aggressive offensively.
Yeah.
She says rip through. We look for them to get to the rim. And every time she got a lane, she at least made an attempt to go. That's the part of being coachable that's important. To know when to go, but also know that my coach would say, hey, I need to. So just to at least make an attempt. And every time she went, she either got to the free throw line or she was able to get a shot off, which is really important. Even if she missed, it put us in a situation we can actually have an opportunity at an offensive rebound.
I was shooting the game. It seemed like they were playing you to go left, and that's why you kept getting that baseline open. I was like, and I've done a number of your games over the last couple of years, so I was kind of surprised because I know you're from Brooklyn, so you know how to take it to the rack. I went to school East Coast, so I was like, I was really kind of surprised that they kept giving her that right hand, and she was able to drive.
But if you read the scouting report, it says shooter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what most people say, shooter. In our conference, she led the conference in threes, things of that nature. But I think her carryover from her freshman year until this year is she's done a very, very good job of getting to the rim. And hopefully we'll have some carryover next year, adding something else to that. Her pull-up games come along. But I think overall it's the confidence that our teammates give her too. Hey, you got it, go. And
well, that's what I noticed at the SWAC championship. I've done you enough where it's like, you know, you got a game, girl. You need to do something. You know, I mean, you tend to give it up. You know, like, you know, but there's times when, you know, it's like, I mean, I shot you when you played here, but that's one of the things I've noticed is that you're really unselfish. You know, sometimes to, you know,
Too much.
yeah,
you're
because
right.
I'm like, it's there, you know. But what do you see for your team next year? I mean, in terms of down the road, Coach.
We talked in the locker room a moment ago about buying into a system and trusting. And I shared with them that I'm vested into you guys, and I want your very, very best effort in the off season. You got to give it to them when it stings a little bit so they can understand how important it is. So we talked about this after the championship game as well that we lost in, and then tonight. The off season is so important for us to take care of the ball more and get more invested into why you're here. Student first, but then you're here to play for Texas Southern women's basketball team. Put more time into the gym. Really, really buy into your craft. We're young. We have one senior, and she's actually from the Dallas area, Crystal N.E.M., number 40.
Yeah.
But we're really young. We have 2 kids sitting out of transfer from ORU and transfer from ECU. So we're in a good place. We have a JUCO kid coming in, but they already know the system, the transfers, which was important for me. And SMU has done the same thing in the past with Brittany Hardy, with Keena Mays, with Christina Hernandez. Like, it's important to get good transfer kids in who are solid academically, not a problem kid. And I can say that about the young ladies who come in. They're going to be very solid for us. And they're not really role players. They're coming in to do a job. Keena Mays came in December last year to do a job, and she's done a wonderful job at it. And that's what I expect. I expect the same thing from our 2 kids. So even though we have the same players, it may look a little different.
Yeah.
Coach,
Time for one more question.
talk about how difficult it was with Alexis being in foul trouble early in the first half, only playing 5 minutes. Was it difficult trying to make adjustments with the?
It's tough because we have Jasmine on the bench, and then you have Alexis Johnson picked up a technical, pouting. That's a freshman mistake. She's just really young, and she beats herself up. So her slamming the ball down had nothing to do with referees. It was more so her, and she has to learn. We talked about it in the locker room a moment ago. Control your emotions. Somebody see that, they may think, oh, she doesn't have good, camaraderie on the court. And really, she is pillow soft when it comes to her teammates and other players on the floor as well. So I think it definitely put us in a bad situation, and we were able to hold on coming in at halftime only down 9. Probably would have been down 6 if somebody would have gave up a 3 in the corner, but we'll talk about that later. But yes, I think that put me in a bad spot because there's only certain things I can run. I thought Coach Rhonda did a good job with keeping them packed in that zone. With 2 shooters off the floor, being Jazz and Lex, it limits me, on what we can run offensively.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.